We go nuts.
So what is this? What are you guys doing? You know what? I gotta stop. I'm so used to interviewing people that I forget that you guys are interviewing me.
Let's make it a conversation, though. Let's have fun with it. Let's have fun with it.
Absolutely. I like your shirt too.
I appreciate it. It's actually a part of my brand, the Polar movement.
I like that.
#1 student-owned business at A&T.
I like that.
But y'all ready to get into it?
Let's
kick it, bro.
All right, 20 years celebrating B.I.G. You told us, you came to A&T with B.I.G. I heard he was one of the first people to take you on tour.
Yeah.
How does that feel, reflecting on 20 years?
It's crazy because when I was actually doing it, we didn't think, and I tell people this all the time, we didn't think we were creating magic. We didn't think we were just doing our jobs. We were just living life and getting money and doing what we were supposed to do. And, as he got larger, every record for record. And what I mean by that, when you're a DJ and you get to travel all across the country and even abroad, we went to Rotterdam, Amsterdam, and the whole entire UK, and we did an R. Kelly tour with him also. But when you get to see the growth of each individual record in every city, it's exciting. So you might be like, okay, we're in Detroit today and we play a certain record and it's okay, but then a month later, the same record erupts in Atlanta or it erupts in Miami.
Right.
Or, you start to see the growth of it, and you're like, wow, his records are starting to really come together.
Right.
So that to me was exciting because you got to think of the world we live in right now. Everything's here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, right? So you get a video instantaneously, your song downloaded right there or streamed. Back in those days, if you love something, you had to wait to hear it on the radio.
Right.
You had to buy it at the record store, or you wasn't getting a piece of the action.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, not to say that today's fans aren't as invested in the music, but it was just a little bit further to get to it. So it was, to me, that was magical, in that sense, you know what I'm saying?
Instant gratification changed a lot of things.
Absolutely.
So definitely with this too, you notice that the records, have, had to come, a lot faster nowadays. So what do you expect now from DJs and stuff like that for summer jams? Like, what is big now? What do you think is like the next big step?
I think the internet and a lot of the platforms that are out there, I don't care if it's a streaming service, something as Spotify or iTunes or Apple Music, Beats One. I think that it's a combination of things. I know for a fact that there's a certain amount of people who live on these platforms and the music just generates organically, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's SoundCloud, whatever. So there's a whole bunch of people who are just fans of this one particular artist.
Right.
I think the key thing is, how do I know, and this is the question, how do I know if artist A fans are equivalent to artist B fans? That's the hardest thing to figure out now, because it seems like is it based on artist per artist, or is it based on the record per record?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I might like Lil Uzi Vert, or I might like Playboy Cardi, right? But am I liking them as a whole, as an artist, or do I just like some of their singles?
Right.
And I think that's where we're at with it, because I think the body of work used to be like, okay, I'm putting out this mass project, and back in the old days, everybody relied on that mass project, and it was everything. Where today, I might do an album, drop it, 2 days later, a new artist is gonna be like, I'm gonna drop 6 songs that didn't even make the album, and then those 6 songs end up being hotter than the album.
Right.
So that's kind of the stuff that we're dealing with today. So
as like a DJ now, not to cut you off, but like as a DJ now, you come from a time where hip-hop was in sort of an infant stage, and it was like real hip-hop, like the real culture and integrity of it was there.
Right.
Now, not to say that the integrity is gone, but it's sort of evolved into something that pioneers like you and B.I.G. probably never would have thought of.
Right.
When you look at artists now, do you expect, are you looking to put the artist on who's representing that real hip-hop, or are you sort of adapting to the new wave?
No, I think I have to do both.
Okay.
Because a true DJ isn't going to play for himself.
Okay.
A true DJ plays for the people. And if you follow that rule, no matter what happens with technology, no matter what happens with instant gratification, no matter what happens with the price of music, whether it's free or you have to pay for it, whether it's good or bad, if you are a DJ who performs for your fan, you win all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the answer. You know, now, personally, on a one-on-one, if I'm in the car by myself doing my own thing, which records out of those I pick and choose, it'll always be for whatever reason. It could be the flow's incredible, he's saying some real stuff, the beats, whatever. They could be small things that attract me to the song. Yes, there's always going to be some old school, true hip hop DNA in me because it's natural for me. But I think because I look at my son now, who's 16. He's today's new demo. So when I spend a one-on-one with my son, it just be me and him going to the barbershop, going to get some food at the diner.
Right.
We in the car. He takes over my whip. He's playing his joints. He's like, you ain't up on this, Pop. Blah 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 blah. And I'll be like, you crazy? That's such and such. He's like, oh, Pop, you know that. Da, da, da. Or I might drop something on him. You don't know nothing about this, and he'd be like, you got me there. So it's as crazy as it may seem, as old as I am, I'm still hip as a mother. So, because you know what happens? There's so much artists out here. There's so much music. There's so many region pockets, and you know, at the end of the day, I think that's the new digging. Like back in the days, we were digging, you know, through record crates and looking on the old album cuts and B cuts and album cuts to figure out what else is on here, what other gems are on here that the label's just not trying to promote to us.
Right.
That was the old way. Now it's just flickering through the stuff, or maybe you just put it on shuffle and something pops up and you're like, what is this? This is fire.
Right.
You know. So, but on top of that, you know what I think some people still want? I think some people still want our cosign. As much as they say they don't,
DJs
some of the young ones still want our cosign. It's almost like, I hate to use this analogy, but when MC Hammer was one of the biggest rappers in the game, a lot of people crucified him, called him the corniest. And I remember that specifically. In one of his videos, he said, "What you gonna do now, Hammer? You know, they don't play you in New York," or whatever it is. He did that on purpose because he was like, what is it with New York City that I got the whole entire world in the palm of my hand, but I can't make New York City shake for nothing? And it's that cosign. So it's to a point where MC Hammer did get so powerful that whether we liked it or not, it was something we had to deal with. Hip hop, whether I don't care if it's dance related, I don't care if it's trap related, I don't care if it's boom bap related. It came from somewhere. But then when they exploded and blew up and the world fell in love with it, all the true heads want to do this. I ain't messing with that no more.
Right.
And I never understood that part. I never truly understood that part. There was an argument back in the days when I first met up with Mos Def and Talib Kweli. Two great rappers out of Brooklyn. Black Star. They were on the verge of like blowing up. And I just got the job here at Hot 97. Young DJ Enuff. And I remember saying in the record store, I can't wait to, you know, get your music and play you guys every day on the radio. And I remember the people in the record store was like, no, don't play it on the radio. You're going to ruin it. I remember my son saying that. Don't play it, you're going to ruin it. Because what happens is people want to have a sense of ownership. And they don't want that tainted. You know, so as long as you have an artist, right? Pick an artist that you like that's not really famous yet.
Sire.
All right. Sire, right? So you might be like, yo, Sire, this is my artist. I love him. I play him by myself. I'm with the fam. We in the house cooking, cleaning. My boys be chilling. And then all of a sudden, he starts to blow up. Then Steve Harvey's playing him. Ellen DeGeneres is playing him. Jimmy Kimmel at night is playing him. Jimmy Fallon is playing him. All the big DJs across the country, the rhythm crossover stations are playing him. You're not going to feel about him the same, aren't you? As much as you love him, right? It's Kanye West, same thing. Yeah. I remember Kanye, Young Puppy, in my studio. All right, I broke Kanye. Ask him, I'll tell you. Kanye, look at the first few albums, heavy hitters on the back, alongside Rock Nation and everything. He came to the studio, begged me, you know, to be a heavy hitter, and I'm like, you're a producer, I'm gonna do it with you. You know, I didn't know he was a real rapper like that, but he was trying to get his music out. And when we put his music out, I put his first mixtape out, okay? they damn near returned all those mixtapes. They didn't want nothing to do with them. He started bubbling. His records started getting out there. We started working them, playing them on the radio a little bit, doing some club runs. Everybody started hitting us up. You Enuff, you got that mixtape, that Kanye West mixtape? I said, I thought you guys didn't want it. Now they wanted it.
Right.
But now, look where he's at. He's at a space where he's so blown, you know, he's old school now.
Mm-hmm.
He's officially old school, right?
So speaking of all the artists, who are you looking forward to this year for Summer Jam?
I'm actually looking to see. I have a different opinion on because there is this thing about New York City. What excites them, what doesn't excite them, right? And in the past, I've seen some festival type artists who are incredibly big throughout the country. They sell out these festivals all the time. You know, they might not have real street presence, but they have a good hip hop presence. And they come into Summer Jam and they tank. You know what I'm saying? They might sell tickets, and it's a great business move for us, but something about them not moving the crowd. Okay, so to me, a great performance is somebody who commands the crowd, somebody who delivers a great performance, and then once they're done, you're almost like exhausted because he or she ripped it down.
So that leads me to my next question. As a DJ, DJ, look at hip hop. The DJ moved the crowd from the beginning of time. What is your preparation like? What do you tell the heavy hitters? How do y'all manage to move the crowd, and what advice do you have the young DJs?
I think it's always, as much as we want to play all the hits and whatever, play what you know what the people want to hear. Don't make it always about yourself. The more you make it about the people, the better you'll be. And just get right to it. Don't lollygag. Just get right to it. Hit them with the hits. Bang, 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 bang. In and out. And that's it.
How do you prepare for that?
Do your homework. You got to do your homework. You know, if you know it here, there's a certain amount of information we have here stored here automatically. But every good DJ is as good as his preparation. You know, so if you got dancers who do a dance at a show, I'm sure they do some pre-recording of some sort of choreography of some sort behind the scene, you know. Same thing for DJs. If you're a real good DJ, you know, you'd be like, okay, what city am I in? What time am I going to be on? Who am I playing for? What's my crowd? You might have the first 2 or 3 records are your temperatures to gauge what you think they like.
Throwing jabs.
Yep, you throw slight little jabs. Let me try this real quick. Boom. Okay. Boom. Oh, okay. Boom. All right, you might do something. They ain't really like that one. After that, you kind of got a gauge of how to hit them. And you just, boom, and you just go in.
Mm-hmm.
It's real simple.
I like that.
But you got to prep. Don't let nobody lie and be like, yeah. You just got to prep. A little bit of preparation, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, the best. You see LeBron James after a game still shooting still practicing. He's off for a week before the big game, still practicing, still, you know, Steph Curry, same thing. You know, if they're not doing it, somebody else is gonna take that light and shine.
Right.
So 20 years, man. Who's next? Who's the king now? Hove is old school, like you said. Diddy's old school. They still getting their money, but
who's the king? Right now,
you got Joey
in
on
2017. I think Kendrick's the king.
Kendrick?
Right now,
who's the king of New York?
Oh.
Even though Kendrick said he was the king of that too.
I think that's a good question.
Like you got Joey on the Summer Jam.
I think Joey's a great asset to our city. You know, he's made a lot of statements, you know, on his opinion of what he feels should be. I think
even the old Joe back, Fat Joe back.
Yeah. I think I'm proud of Fat Joe and Remy Ma because they're true OGs in the sense, and for them, you know, like think about Remy, man, going to jail for so long and coming back with the TV show and then coming with a Grammy-nominated record, even though she didn't win or whatever, and then she had a little beef that she had with Nicki. Like it was a great year for them. We all OGs in that sense, and for them to be respected, you know, even from a lot of the youngins, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think Fab is still dope. You know, he's been rocking since Hova, and he's consistently just still dropping mixtapes. And making little records here and there. But you notice how he made a record with Little Uzi? You see how the collaborations are happening? There's nothing wrong with that. You know, like same thing with me. I'm an OG. I get with a young DJ and we do parties together.
Right,
hold me down, youngin'. I'm gonna hold you down,
Yeah.
and we vice versa. That's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
I met David Banner the other day too. He told me you gotta play with fame a little bit. He said you gotta get in the spotlight a little bit, drop back. Get in the spotlight, drop back.
Ain't
Do a
nothing
couple
wrong with
mixtapes,
that.
drop
That's it.
back.
That's it.
That's how you remain relevant.
David Banner's a great dude. He's a great person.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me a lot. He taught me a lot of, sometimes being from New York, we look at things this way, but he's like, yo, think about where I came from. Things were this way, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't realize that. So sometimes we just have to look at it. Your hip hop might be different from my hip hop, but the one thing that is incredible that we're all connected through music. It's the one universal language that keeps us together.
Art of the prophets and the gift of God.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Nah, I definitely can respect that. I sort of look at music just like I look at sports sometimes. Like you look at LeBron James, he wouldn't be LeBron without knowing Michael, but
Absolutely.
Michael wouldn't have been Michael without knowing Dr. J, and they
Absolutely.
gotta know Oscar.
Absolutely.
It's like never ending. I feel like as a young artist myself, I make sure I do my homework. If I didn't know who you was, how can I get up there and tell my DJ, this is what we gotta do.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's just how it
I
gotta
appreciate
be.
that.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. We rocking with y'all all the way out. I'm from Maryland, but I go to school in North Carolina. I was born in New York, so after this, I got some meetings with some other people. Spunk Bigger.
Good. No, educate me to him.
Spunk Bigger. He was with the Untouchables.
That sounds familiar.
With Diddy and them back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He produced some tracks with them. I know him through my parents. He gonna link us up with some beats tonight. We're
Good.
gonna try to cook up.
Oh, that's what's up. Tell him I said
Yeah.
hi, man.
I got you.
All I'm gonna ask you is for this: when you go back to Maryland, when you go back to North Carolina, link me to the newest heavy hitter. I need to find a new heavy hitter in North Carolina.
As far as the DJ,
As far as a DJ.
we might. I think we have.
All
some.
right. So
I'm trying to.
all right,
bring you
so
there.
let's figure that out.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what we.
That's what I like to do. I like to bridge the gap so I can continue growing my.
So now I got something for you though.
Okay.
I want to hold you accountable, cause
Absolutely.
what we do is A&T. That's just like you probably feel New York is yours. We feel like A&T is ours.
Right.
So we brought KRS-One out. We brought them to campus, live cipher right in front of campus.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. So like if we link up, we exchange contact information.
Let's make it happen. Yeah.
We got a hip hop professor, Terman at A&T. He makes it happen. So
I love that.
Like, we bringing DJ Enuff.
I love that.
We gonna set it up.
It's going down.
Set it up.
You heard it right here. Rap
Yes, sir.
Network. I'm coming to North Carolina 18, baby.
and we gotta get your size right. Get you some of these shirts, man.
Absolutely. 2X.
2X. We gotta get you right.
All right.
But it's all good. The polar movement in here with DJ Enuff.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Pleasure.
you.
Pleasure.
Appreciate you. Hip hop music is the universal language. You heard the man.
Mm-hmm.
One. Peace.